Afternoon and good evening, and a very happy Ramadan to all of our distinguished guests and participants from across the globe. My name is Kate Midden. I am the Communications Director for the Road Safety Program at the Global Health Advocacy Incubator, and I am thrilled to welcome everyone to this month's global webinar series on communications. This month's webinar comes just weeks ahead of the kickoff of Road Safety Week. Global Road Safety Week this year signals the kickoff of the second UN Decade of Action towards Road Safety, seeking to reduce traffic fatalities by 50%. With Road Safety Week just weeks away, it was only necessary that we dedicate this month's webinar to hearing from coalitions who have leveraged this week in the past in support of policy change, and to hear from coalitions who are looking to leverage it this time around as a way to collaborate, get fresh ideas, and get insights into different ways of working. If you can go to the next slide, we will walk through the agenda. Perfect. So it is my privilege today to introduce our expert speakers from Bangladesh and Mexico, who will share with us their experiences mobilizing media efforts around Road Safety Week and other global days of action. We will also hear from members of the GHAI communications team about ways to engage globally, for example, on digital media, and several resources that we'll be sharing after this webinar comes to a close. Several quick housekeeping items. We encourage questions. We are going to try to save some time at the end for a Q&A with our speakers. We do have a packed agenda, so we do want your questions. If we don't get to them today, we will make sure to get them answered in a follow-up email or perhaps in a blog after the fact. So do drop your questions in the chat box. If you have any technical issues, please do get in touch with us that way as well. And finally, this event is being recorded. We will circulate a private link afterwards. So if we go to the next slide and onward to introductions. Perfect. So today we will be hearing from multiple leaders in road safety. So today, to kick us off, we will be hearing from Dr. Kamran Elbasset, the head of the road safety program for BRAC in Bangladesh. The doctor is a public health practitioner with nearly 20 years of experience directly managing community-based programs and research, with experience in road safety, community engagement, policy advocacy for sustainability, injury surveillance, system development, and healthcare seeking behaviors. We will also hear from Alejandra Leal, the co-director and founder of Centrico in Mexico. Alejandra carries a deep expertise in public policies related to mobility and road safety. She's the coordinator of the Safe Mobility Coalition, Mexico's premier road safety civil society body, which has promoted legislation on road safety since 2014. Also from Mexico, we will be hearing from Aureli Carrion, the public policy coordinator and a founding member of Bicitecas in Mexico. Aureli is an environmental activist and has been a member and leader of many successful policy lobbying efforts in past years, including campaigns to defend Mexican corn varieties from GMO pollution, to update national norms of environmental health for cleaner air, and the civic coalition to push and win a road safety regulation in Mexico City focused on saving people's lives. And then two members of the GHAI team will be joining us today as well. The first is Luke Tellender, a digital campaign strategist with Global Wave Digital. He has dedicated his career to advancing social change through digital communications, leading campaigns across a diverse cross-set of issues, from environmental preservation to public health to urban revitalization. Many of you will be familiar with Luke. We have also had the great joy of working with him on road safety for a number of years. And then alongside Luke, we also welcome Katie Stasa, who is a digital campaign strategist as well with Global Wave Digital and a member of the GHAI communications team. She is a social media campaign strategist with a passion for driving social change by connecting with individuals on a personal level. Her career has spanned the international education and global health sectors with expertise in media, marketing, and communications. So as you can see, we have a deep bench of expertise joining us today. If you could take us through the next couple of slides, that would be perfect. And I will hand it over to Dr. Elbasset to take us away to teach us about how road safety efforts have unfolded in Bangladesh. Doctor, over to you.
Thank you, Kate. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. and happy Ramadan. Just so I want to share some of our experience about the last road safety weeks past and what is our plan in the future. We started our road safety week celebration from 2017. Can we for the next slide, please? So 2017, that was the motto was the slowdown. So we're targeting our transport leaders to celebrate this uh, week, and especially transport workers. You know, the our transport system is the main dominating, and also very the roads are not that much of good, and they are very much reckless driving is there. And that is one of the challenges that there's less training of the drivers. So we targeting our transport worker to about this the road safety issue. So one of the challenge of our transport sector is the especially heavy vehicle drivers. They are not that much of literate. So next slide. So we organize some. It is our in our country culture. It's a very popular method to engage the community people and especially some stakeholders. That the rally with the colorful festoon and placards. So we organize this rally on the during the week and especially focusing on the school, hospital, and residential area to slow down the speed. And parallelly, at the same time, at the end of the rally, we organize a signature campaign. We in the terminals, bus terminals and truck terminals. So where the most of the drivers and the transport workers are there. So they committed to make their speed in the slow down at around 30 kilometers. So it's like a commitment from the transport workers. So the signature, they give the signature and they show their placards there. And the one of the another main challenging part is the bikers nowadays especially in the urban context. There is a huge bike is people are using bikes because of the traffic jams and especially young generation. So we organize a road show with a biker community. Around 200 uh, bikers attended there with their all safety measures and things. And they use this colorful rally was the just around the city. That and we this event during the event, the Bangladesh Road Transport Authority, the chairman of the Road Transport Authority, uh, uh, he was there, and also the Danish ambassador and the Ratana also there, and our director Ahmed Nazmul Hossain there. Can you go for the next slide? So this is some of the pictures like this. So when the and the first picture is the about the signature campaign. We place a board there in the terminals, and they sign this there, and they committed for this. And you get the down picture is there about the road show with the bikes. Uh, and he is the third person. The first person is the Ahmed Nazmul Hossain, the director, and Ratana, and our the BRTA chairman and the Danish ambassador is there. So we got also the this type of rally usually covered by the media. So after the event, we got the media coverage in the print and electronic media. Next slide, please. So in the 2019, it was the speak up. So we try to focus on how we can speak up. Previous on the slowdown, so speak up. Then we we are planning to find out some the root cause. Can you go for the next slide? Uh, so we we do a research on this about the when we go for our desk review and other things. We realize that our drivers have the only one time the eye checkup during their first licensing. So we organize a free eye cam as a pre-event of the week with the support of JCA, Junior Chamber of Commerce, and around 1,200 bus and truck drivers and the helpers and contractors attend there. And the Bangladesh, the National Eye Science Institute, their doctor and paramedics support us for the organize this free eye camp. And during this eye camp, that is a really ice-breaking research, and we pointed out the point that's more than 50% of our the drivers have the eyesight problem. And the shocking thing is that more than 12% drivers have the need surgery of the cataract. So that that camping is really covered the. Can you go for the next slide? So next, please. I'll come back soon. Next, next slide. Okay, so we disseminated our these findings in the policy level meeting with headed by the BRTA chairman and other stakeholders, and it was, and then it comes to the policy level people that they are now planning to do some regular eye camp with the drivers. The challenges I mentioned that our drivers are uh, illiterate and they're poor also. It is not that much of the sophisticated job declared in our country. So we need to do this type of activities, eye checkup to in their doorstep. Otherwise, it is they're not that much of interest to go to the doctor to check up their eyes. So when we realize we finding this, then we identified that this is not always the cause of the crashes due to the speed or other issues. There is some also the issue of their eyesight is there, the challenge is there, and it gives a huge media coverage and is the like lead news of the newspaper. Few of the very popular newspaper, it was the lead news. And recently from this year, there is another project is going on, going to plan to start with the city corporation about this the eye checkup activities, and BRAC will be the partner of the with the city corporation. Can you go for the previous slide? Previous, yeah. So our founder Sir Fazle Hassan Abed. He was a renowned um, person in our country, and around more than 50,000 staff working within the BRAC. So what we did in the first day of the week, we sent a voice SMS to all of our staffs, so 50,000 staffs, and the voice SMS from our Sir Fazle Hassan Abed. So it was really amazing for our practice family members, and he mentioned his support about the road safety and giving some guidelines to how to uh, maintain the safety during the road use. And what we did, we make a big uh, uh, display board with the picture of the Sir Fazle Hassan Abed and his message there in the front of our BRAC center. So it was placed for the 7 days there. So it's really a good impression to the and good communication message for the audience who are coming to the BRAC center. And especially for the root level staff, they are really excited to hear the voice from the Sir Fazle Hassan Abed. Okay, next slide. Next slide, please. Next. And we also engage the school children in our project areas with the placards to and share their demand with the local authorities about the slowdown and the in front of the school, especially. Next. And also that we involve our, the BRAC chapter. And this year we are planning to do some different activities. We are planning to, next slide, please. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. Uh, okay. Previous slide, please. There's, I think the slide is the okay. Uh, this is the we are planning to organize some of the event with the NGO Alliance, like this open letter to the editor. We already contacted with our communication department and also the some of the newspapers to publish a open letter to the editor, the statement about the action of the 30 kilometers, so that as a sub-editorial they can publish with this issue. Next. And also we are planning to publish some op-ed in the print media and some blogs in the BRAC website, and also the newses we publish in the Facebook to make the awareness within the community about the 30 kilometers, to slow down the speed in the 30 kilometers. Next slide. And with the support of the NGO Alliance, we are planning to make it some poster campaign like that, to take the poster with our picture and with the like the transport workers, youth, school children, teachers, NGO workers, and we are asking those people to publish this poster with the picture in their Facebook, so that it make a more vibe in the community. Especially these three is that we are targeting to make the social media campaign. Next slide, please. So we have a project in the Josur Road there. We are planning to involve that as a model town. We are going to be organize a civil society petition with the local NGOs. There is around 50 NGOs is there, and we are going to be a petition and submit to the mayor of the Josur city. And for your information, there is a going on a project with the World Bank in the Joshua Road. It's a safe as a safe corridor. So we're targeting that city for that region, and we will try to cover this in the local media, involve this local media for this civil society petition. Next slide, please. And finally, we have a plan organized within this week with the World Bank and BRAC jointly organize mm, uh, the policy level webinar where we are expecting the representative from the Prime Minister, the Mr. Gohar Rizvi, the advisor of the Prime Minister. He will also be attend there. So World Bank, the BRAC, and the Prime Minister Office, and also the Road Transport Authority will be there. So that will be and we are planning to involve the media there to make it a big coverage about this. So if we can make some endorsement through the Prime Minister advisor, that will be really helpful for the policymaker to influence further to implement this. Next slide, please. So these are the picture, just the thing, and we are planning to make a high profile endorsement. There is we are targeting the three of our two of our member of parliament and the one mayor to make a commitment and say the about the 30 kilometer speed. So these two member of the parliament they are really involved in the road safety. One is the very renowned the cricket team captain, and another is the issue is also the actor. So these two are very popular in the young population. So we are going to involve them for a petition for this, and the mayor, and also the targeting the BRTA chairman, who is the authority of for this road safety issues. Next, please. So we are, if we just try to summarize like this, so this year we are targeting the community, the policymakers, and also the media and the youth. So social media, involvement and the policy level to high level endorsement and the webinar, and also the signature campaign with the poster campaign in the social media. So these are the targeting we are approaching like this way to make a good vibe within the government. And uh, with the support of the GRSP, we're going to advocate about some of our road safety act change, where we are going to targeting some behavioral issue, speed also there. So this uh, events will help us for the further law amendment. Uh, this is from my end. I think I'm within the time. Thank you very much.
All right, Doctor, thank you so much for sharing all of those insights into Road Safety Week past and what lies ahead in Bangladesh. A lot of really interesting insights there and interesting ways of, especially for the purposes of this crowd, which are a lot of media leads with different organizations, thinking about ways to take events that might sit on the periphery of road safety, something like doing eye screenings, for example, and making that into a big media moment. There's a lot to be, a lot of good insights and lessons learned there. So thank you. If we could go to the next slide, please. Thank you. It is now my pleasure to hand it over to Alejandra Leal, the co-director and co-founder of Centrico, and Aureli Carrion, who is the public policy coordinator of Bicitecas in Mexico. Aureli, Alejandra, over to you.
Hello, good morning to everyone. Greetings from Mexico. We are Alejandra and Areli. We are presenting some of the efforts that we've developing for the past years and focusing a lot on what could we do or share you some ideas of how to commemorate this Road Safety Week. As you know, the motto or the topic chosen is Streets for Life. For us in Mexico, it gave us a reason for both to celebrate and also for pushing forward for the next steps. And I'm saying this because first, we achieved by the end of last year, the recognition of the right to mobility in Mexico in our constitution. And then like now we are pushing for a law on road safety. Next slide, please. As you know, this week will be about promoting the establishment of speed limits in urban areas. And also, as mentioned before, the Decade of Action for Road Safety will be published for the next decade. And it will be both aligned to the Declaration of Stockholm, and it also will be reflecting the promotion of walking, cycling, and the use of public transport. So this is very aligned with the work that we have been developing as coalition. We are called Coalición Movilidad Segura, Safe Mobility Coalition. Next, please. And we are a group of more than 60 groups from civil society and specialists working in 25 of the 32 states of the country. Since 2014, we have been promoting the National General Law on Road Safety and Mobility. Last year we started our grant, and we are very happy to share you with some of the results of the few months that we have been working on this project, and which the support of GRSP and JHAI has been great to move forward on this effort. So these are the two objectives that we have been working on. Next one, please. These are the organizations that are part of the coalition from all over the country in Mexico. Next, please. So we like to start researching, doing the analysis, evidence-based proposals. We have this big network, which Areli has been in charge of creating this big group and informing them and making them part of all of the efforts that we developed. We also work together with families that have lost someone, friends of them, organizations that have been creating after someone passed. And this has been very powerful. So we highly recommend to work together with families, with victims, families. And also we like to the multi-stakeholder collaboration and the consensus building. Next one, please. You can find us here, coalicionmovilidad.segura.mx, and also in Twitter. Next one. So in 2019, the recent period of the legislator started, the current one. So then we started with a demonstration in the Chamber of Deputies. As you know, in Mexico, we have a commemoration of the Day of the Dead. It's a cultural thing because it's both like a celebration and a commemoration, but I think it's a good opportunity to remind all of the legislators that people are dying because of this. In Mexico, 16,000 people every year died. Almost 50% are pedestrians. We combine that with also like meetings with all of the legislators to promote and to establish like a critical route for the approval of this law. Next one, please. We managed then to promote also the constitutional reform. The reason was that when we were promoting the road safety law, some of the lawyers in charge of giving their opinions about this process said that there was no faculty for the Congress to legislate specifically on road safety. What is this? There is an article in the constitutions that mention that they can only legislate on matters of health or education, among others, but not road safety. So in order to go forward, we had to promote together with the Commission in the Senate this constitutional reform. And in the discussions, it was also included some additions to this reform, including the right to mobility and the faculty to legislate on both road safety and mobility. Next one, please. So this was approved in December 2019, and it was also an opportunity to bring on all of the local efforts, because also it was interesting that the right to mobility was already recognized in 10 out of the 16 mobility laws at the state level. So this was important because what we were saying to the legislator is that this is already an effort that is being recognized at the local level, and only recognizing it at the national level is going forward in the work that has already been done locally. Recognizing the local efforts when promoting a national policy, it's key, we believe, to get the support also of the states participating on it. Next one, please. So we created some materials specific with the specifics of the constitutional reform, all of the articles that were changed. The next one, please. And also then we had the like activities stopped because of COVID, and then we started working again with the deputies by the end of 2020 in October. There we promoted the approval of the constitutional reform also. And we launched this slogan, 500 of 500. It means all of the deputies should vote in favor of the constitutional reform. It was really nice because we got the support of all of the parties. Not all of the legislators were there because of COVID, but then all of those that were present voted in favor, with all of the parties also in favor. Next one, please. That day, together with also deputies, we were part of this critical mass on bicycles of deputies towards the vote of the constitutional reform, from like a main square in Mexico City, which is called Zócalo, to the Chamber of Deputies. This type of activities are very familiar to us. Sometimes we do not want to repeat it over and over because this is like the standard thing to do. But we know and we realize that people, politicians that are new to the topic are very attracted to these kind of things. So we like also to use them every now and then, just to bring the attention of more people on the use of the bikes, specifically in this case. Next one, please. What also was interesting is that when all of the deputies in this case made their pronouncements in the plenary session, there were a lot of bikes and a lot of prompts brought by themselves, by the political parties, which also gave us the sense that the topic is already on the agenda. And we need just to identify these moments, give them promotion, and also ask them to speed up with all of the measures. I mean, if they already know what we're advocating for, to invite them to be part of the process and to speed up on the approval of certain things. Next one, please. This was important because it is a constitutional reform, three things need to happen. It needs to be approved in the Chamber of the Senators and the Chamber of Deputies, and then in at least 16 Congresses of the different states, because it's a constitutional reform, which is different from a law, which only needs to be approved in both the chambers, senators and deputies. So for us, we needed to prepare some materials to communicate the process. The next one, please. And also we made a competition among the states for them to be the first ones to approve the constitutional reform sent by the Chamber of Deputies. We created these materials recognizing those states. The first states are these, the ones in the left. And then when we got the 16 out of the 32, we made this map just to show how the country was painting in yellow for road safety. Next one, please. There was an event where secretaries, important secretaries of our country declared that already 17 states have voted in favor of the constitutional reform. Next one, please. And also we had like a virtual celebration. I think the challenges now that bring the distance that we have make us to come up with different forms of working online. So I believe digital communications will be crucial during these years and maybe even more time to come. Next one, please. So this is the right that was approved. Everyone has the right to mobility in conditions of road safety, accessibility, efficiency, sustainability, quality, inclusion, and equality. Next one, please. This is from my end. Now I give the floor to Areli. We can hear you, Areli.
Sorry. Hello, everyone. Thank you for following us on what we've done in the last months to push for the law, and how are we trying to cope with COVID limitations, and trying to also being able to communicate on a subject that might not be sexy to engage people, which is the procedures of the law changes and law enforcement. Since we don't have, we've never had in Mexico a safety law before, we are not focusing on implementation, on programs, basically on or based on risk factors, but mostly our focus is on pushing for the law, because without it, we don't have that first step to really move the agenda on to what is actually saving lives. So our focus is especially on the law. We did a lot of work, and at this point we have done this work to put together and work together, not only as a coalition of organizations of all different kinds, but also to bring on and sum up people from the executive power, like that are already on governing positions, legislators, authorities at the local, at the state and municipal level. And we also have been able to bring on people from different other actors as the presidents of both Senate and Chamber of Deputies commissions. Also SEDATU, which is the main office on territory in Mexico, the OMS and PAHO, Pan American Health Organization in Mexico, and also the Secretary of Mobility of Mexico City, which is the main capital and the largest city in Mexico. What we did is to make a proposal of articles to be included in each topic. And we did a facilitation to all this myriad of different actors to provide feedback on every specific of the wording of each article. Next one, please. So we did 5 thematic tables on road safety, infrastructure, transportation services, traffic and circulation, and demand management. And we managed to pull together 103 specialists to participate in this effort to write the law online. Next one, please. We also had one-on-one meetings, which were kind of difficult because we are watching ourselves for a year, like in this small squares. But nevertheless, this effort really helped us to build consensus among the ideas that need to be pushed forward. Next one, please. Then we made also an online event to present our law initiative in February 18, with messages from OMS in Mexico and messages of different political important persons on both chambers. Next one, please. Well, our proposal of law includes 119 articles in 6 titles. Maybe I won't go through them, but we are actually trying to put together like the big umbrella that will give us the base to work in coming years on this, in both agendas, mobility and road safety. Well, next one, please. This is the presentation we did on the Chamber of Senate by Senator Nancy de la Sierra, along with us as a coalition. And one of the things that helped us to do that was all this kit, that we call it, a kit to promote this law in the Senate among legislators. And we did a cup of coffee like this one, with a message saying, every time you take a cup of coffee, a person in Mexico will die, because of the number of people that we are losing each year. Each 26 minutes, we are losing someone in Mexico. So this was very shocking for many of the people that were given. We gave away this and put one of these kits in every legislator office. So we've heard, and we had a very good feedback from them saying, wow, this really struck me, like I didn't knew this one. And our idea from giving this up to them was precisely that every time they take a cup of coffee, or they are, you know, like working and having this cup around them, they will remember that every time in the few minutes that they can take a cup of coffee, somebody will be lost. So, well, this idea really was helping us to approach the hearts of the legislators. And then we did this on Twitter and on Facebook as well, because we were saying, hey, legislator, we need to have a chat, we need to have a coffee. And whenever we sit and sip this coffee, somebody will be dead because of road safety. And then it gives us a clue to really engage well, more people from different states and legislators from different states, but it is a good idea that it sticks in people's minds. Next, please. We've done pretty hard work on keeping the coalition together. It is difficult because it asks from ourselves to be patient, to be kind, to being able to understand the focus on the priorities of a different myriad of people and organizations. But as well, it's very important because it gives us a lot of strength to talk to different people. Now, we are a diverse country, and multi-parties, we are a diverse country, so we need to focus on that diversity because we do need everyone to jump in and to make this subject a matter of concern and action. So this part of the work is very important because in the way that we can really pull together all this diversity, we have all this power, all this strength to really move forward the agenda, because nobody can talk to everyone, but each one of us can talk to different people and have different tools and different strengths to do this. So having a big group of people working in different states, from different points of view, from different from private initiatives to family of victims, from academic backgrounds to social movements and so on and so forth. It's very, really helpful. Next one, please. One of the things that we did nationally last year was to celebrate or commemorate the World Day of Remembrance of Road Traffic Victims, and we managed to get the Mexico City's officials to lighting up in yellow all the main buildings in Mexico City. So, and we also did a public activity to lighting up the Senate on yellow lights, with the participation of the coalition and the participation of some of the parents of victims that are really very active, talking about not only their personal testimony, their personal experience of grief with the loss of someone loved, but also really asking everyone else to join the effort in order for us to really being able to prevent some more people and more families to suffer this. So this is some of the persons that you can see there dressed in yellow are family members of people that were lost in previous years. Next one, please. These are some of the buildings and the activities that, as Alejandra said, we are trying to being able to create new things, even with the COVID restrictions and all the care that is necessary, which hasn't been easy, but well, we are managing to do the best we can, what we have. The next one, please. And that would be it. We are planning for this year's week to have a manifestation of toys. We are going to, our idea is to put toys on the offices of the people that has to legislate on road safety, because road safety injuries are the first cause of death of babies, children, and young people in Mexico. So we cannot take young people out in the street because of COVID, but what we'll do is to put these toys, these teddy bears and other toys injured in front of the legislative houses of different congresses throughout the country on one day that we haven't really set yet. And at the same time that week, we are holding our first workshop for journalists. We made an alliance with the Mexican Network of Journalists of Science that gathers more than 130 journalists in Mexico to give a first workshop on road safety and to really put together like the evidence-based and the theoretic idea to really move the agenda out of this perception that road safety is a matter of luck or a matter of fate or a matter of that cannot be prevented, which is an idea that is very strong in Mexico. So those both activities are being planned for these weeks, and hopefully we will manage to have the idea that the Bangladesh doctor just gave us to maybe make a parade on motorcycles, because motorcycle users are the primary victim now, that the one that has been arising constantly in a very, very sharp way in Mexico City. And maybe we will explore this idea to replicate this as well in Mexico City. That would be it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Alejandra and Aurelie. There are so many moving parts of that presentation. I mean, everything from seeing advocates in Parliament with their masks on, holding the sign with the bicycles, to the idea about the coffee cup, also extraordinarily moving, the masks in particular, from a communications and advocacy lens, I think that reminds all of us that new tools are emerging all the time for advocacy, that, you know, we have to use masks now. So how can those be used? You know, and all, of course, all the work around World Day of Remembrance offers so many lessons for different advocacy activities that can be used when we're talking about these global days and really putting them to work for national policies. If we could go to the next slide, please. All right, so we are going to pivot now to talk more from the global level. I'm going to hand it over to Katie and Luke, who are going to walk through some different ideas for leveraging the day. We have a couple of events that are coming up. The GHAI is hosting, that WHO will be hosting around Global Road Safety Week that we wanted to let everyone know about. We have some resources that we wanted to share with everyone. So again, I want to thank our speakers for kind of framing up this discussion of the utility of Road Safety Week from an advocacy perspective. Of course, is not just to plug into the tweets and, you know, boost engagement generally. That is a really big boon and priority, but it's also really using those days and putting them to work for national policies. What Aurelia and Alejandro were talking about, putting the teddy bears outside of state houses, is a really beautiful way of weaving that together. So I will hand it over to Katie and Luke to take it away to walk through this part of the presentation.
Great, thank you. I would go ahead and go to the next slide. So I know that for UN Global Road Safety Week, you know, it's really a unique opportunity to connect with advocates from all over the world, and, you know, and really leverage the week to, you know, not only connect globally, but also to drive change locally, to engage with policymakers and support policy advocacy campaigns. So when we started thinking together about how to put together resources, wanted to think both about kind of the global convening factor, but also to make some tools that are most replicable and useful for groups to, you know, take and use on their earned and digital activities. Many of this is kind of pulling from what we've already seen from groups like BRAC and Centrico and BC around the world. And so I'm just going to give a brief overview of kind of the global activities, and then my colleague Katie is going to show a couple of different resources that she's put together for groups to take and make their own and leverage for the week coming up, and then at the end of next month. So next slide. So again, as we you know, as we think about how to leverage this day, you know, really want to focus on local policy objectives, and so you know, many of you I've worked with before and will be working with in the next couple of weeks to think about what is going to actually move the policy forward. You know, there's a lot of things that we can do to, you know, kind of make you know, make noise, but we want to make sure that it's strategic and effective for you guys as well. Next slide. So you know, we're here to support your strategy development and implementation for across all, you know, paid, earned, owned, social. So you know, lots of groups will be doing you know, paid strategies, online, offline events. I think will be online events, especially, will be huge this year. in many different ways, or socially distanced offline events. And I know kind of user-generated campaigns are big as well for Road Safety Week. Particularly pulling on kind of the poster and campaign idea that we've seen be so successful in Road Safety Weeks past. Next slide. So to help kind of convene the global conversation, we are hosting a Twitter chat for all partners worldwide. So we'd like to officially invite everyone on this call to join us on May 18th. It is at 9 a.m. because generally that is the most palatable time for everybody across the globe, although I know it's early and late for those of you in Mexico and Bangladesh. So appreciate joining in. Also, the content will be available to engage throughout that day, but really looking forward to kind of going a little bit deeper with many of you on topics that we have been discussing today. So we will be circulating the questions along with a memo that we will touch base on in a minute, but really look to have as many people as we can weigh in and prepare answers to participate. So next slide. So the ways that you can help us are by helping us promote, preparing your question or answers to questions ahead of time, and then participating in the day of the event. And so all of this information will be available in along with sample messages or the questions, along with sample social content that you can just take and share. And yeah, we would love to hear from you all around, most of the topics are, connected to speed, but also thinking about, ways that we can learn from each other in terms of, advocacy strategies and tactics, because, as, the ethos of the webinar series, kind of taking that and connecting to an even broader audience via Twitter. Next slide. And then some of you may have seen this already, but one of our partners, the Global Alliance of NGOs for Road Safety, which many of you may be a part of, is also doing kind of a global rally that is tied to their signs, their sign campaign that many of you might have seen. And so they are doing a special day, I believe the day after our Twitter chat. So would like to formally invite everyone to participate in that as well as they are able to. And then one more kind of global highlight. We are going to be spending the week at GHAI celebrating the wonderful civil society organizations that you all are a part of, and so if you would like your organization to be included in this, we feel free to send us a note. You'd likely just have to answer a few questions about Road Safety Week, and we would love to promote that content as much as possible. So again, all of this will be available to you as well. So I'm just going to hand it over to Katie, who's going to talk a little bit more about a couple of pieces that she's put together for you. Go to the next slide.
Thanks so much, Luke. So roads are made safer with the work and support of policy champions. So that's why we created these editable graphics for you to use to highlight policymaker champions in your area. They're available in the toolkit, which we will dive into momentarily. So what you'll do with these is simply open the editable Canva file, replace the stock photo with a photo of a champion, and fill in all of the personal details. We're offering these graphics in a variety of styles and colors for you to choose from. And as you can see on the bottom right, we're highlighting a few of the Global Road Safety Week hashtags. So please also include them in the body of the social media post for most engagement. And when you do post these champion graphics, make sure to tag us, tag GHAI, so then we can re-amplify and retweet and really get the message out there. Next slide, please. All right, this is the poster campaign. And this is meant to be interactive, and it's intended to create user-generated content and a lot of engagement around the week. So we are inviting you to share this poster with road safety supporters and invite them to fill it out with a message. Take a picture and then post it on social media. And of course, tag you so you can reshare. Next slide, please.
And just a note that I know that there are posters connected to the UN toolkit as well, but we wanted to provide an editable version in case you want to create something in your own language or create something totally different. All of the posters are editable in Canva, so you can do whatever you want with the toolkit. Yes, go ahead.
Thanks, Luke. All right, so now finally to the toolkit. We've created a comprehensive toolkit for you with all of the previously discussed resources included. You'll also find key messages, a customizable press release for you to share with media partners, Twitter chat details, and sample social media messages. We're so excited for you to utilize these resources, and we can't wait to see what you do with them. So in summary, this toolkit will be your go-to place for earned and digital media resources. Next slide, please. And lastly, we'd like to make you aware of the UN Toolkit for Global Road Safety Week. They also have ample resources for you to use to promote road safety. We've linked to it in our toolkit, so you have it right at your fingertips. And that's about all I have for you regarding toolkits. I'm going to pass it back over to Kate Midden for a final word.
All right, thank you, Katie and Luke, for walking us through those resources. So as they mentioned, the toolkit and details about the tweet chat, all of this information will be coming. We are going to link to these resources in the thank you email that comes with the recording of this digital event. And then we will also be following up. You will be hearing from Karina Alvarez and Bernice Morquette with those resources as well, in addition to some sample key messages that are specific to each country's specific policy context. So we hope that these resources are useful. We did get a couple great questions. Unfortunately, I think these questions are bigger than the 2 minutes than we have left, so I will make sure to connect the relevant folks after this event. But I just wanted to take a moment and say thank you to all of our speakers. Thank you to our participants and everyone who RSVP'd. We're really looking forward to seeing how all of the activities unfold around this global week of action coming up very soon. And then taking a step back, this global webinar series for folks who may be joining for the first time, this is something that happens on a monthly basis. It is open to civil society organizations across the Bloomberg Philanthropies Global Road Safety Initiative. So if you know anyone who should be joining, please let us know. We can add them to the list. If there are topics related to the intersection of media and advocacy that you would like to see us cover, please let us know. And if you are interested in being a speaker at a future webinar series, please let us know as well. You can reach our entire team at Road Safety Media at advocacyincubator.org. So thank you, and I will let everyone off to your day, and for some of you, the evening. Thank you so much for joining us today and look forward to seeing everyone soon.
Thank you. Good day and good night to everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, thank you.
Bye, thank you.